Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today's March 14th. This is my weekly shop update. So today I'm going to give you a look at some of the stuff I've been milling last week. Take a look at the completed farmhouse table. I'll give you a little bit of an update on what I'm doing with the live edge on the bed. And we'll take a look at some viewer projects. So welcome to March in Minnesota. The month where it has no idea what season it is. It's spring one day, winter the next. So I did finish milling up the smaller ash log, and then I also got to cutting this birch log. And this birch tree was actually living right where my neighbor's shed was until December when he cut it down. So it hasn't traveled very far before I slice it up. But this stuff is incredibly figured, especially all through here, all the way down. It's a little too cold for me to get some water on it right now, but I'll throw up a picture. This stuff is absolutely beautiful. Has a ton of figure in it, ton of crotch figure, ton of curl. I know I was excited about the big stuff, but this is probably one of my favorite ones so far. And getting ready to go up on the mill right now is this piece of spruce. This is the bottom section of one of the spruce trees that I had, also from my next door neighbor's yard. And for this one, I think I'm going to do a demonstration on quarter sawing. Not something that I've ever done or really have an intention of doing in the future, but I think it's an interesting technique to demonstrate. So this is probably going to be a good candidate for that. I'll have some nice quarter sawn spruce, or technically since it's a softwood, since it's a softwood, it'll be vertical grain spruce, but it's the same thing. So probably the most exciting thing this week for me is that the Farmhouse Table video series is done. Well, my editing is done. The last videos will be out this week, and that class will be complete. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been following that build over there on the Wood Whisperer Guild. This has been a really fun project for me to share with all of you. And this was my second video series class style thing that I've done. I have another one coming up this summer, which would be the Queen Anne Highboy. And then I also have one for next winter, which would be a live edge waterfall table. So I'll be doing 2 classes a year, and I think that's going to be a good balance between the class stuff and the stuff I do here on the YouTube channel. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview on this live edge treatment that I've been doing before the video comes out, because I'm super excited about this. So as a bit of a preview, this is kind of what the finished effect is with the bark removed, and I'm just trying to leave just the inner bark on there, because as I was removing some of this bark for the first time, I stumbled across this look, and I absolutely love how this looks. So to give you an idea of the process, you have the raw bark down here. You know, it just kind of looks like that, normal walnut bark. And then the bark, the outer bark, is stripped away with a draw knife. That's what this is up here. And then I come back over it with a angle grinder and like a Scotch-Brite pad, and that kind of, you know, blends things down, gets rid of some of the facets from the draw knife, and allows you to kind of get rid of the last little bits of the outer bark. And then I'll just do a little bit of hand sanding with one of these like foam pad things. But just to give you an idea, on the other side of this, this is one of the rails. On the other side of this, I started to remove the live edge, and I was kind of playing around with leaving some of the bark on there. I don't know, that's an okay look too. But then as I was working on this side, I kind of just went out a little bit slower. I ended up seeing this pattern in the inner bark, and I just absolutely fell in love with that look. I think it's a really cool look. And I like this a lot better than just that stripped off live edge look. So I figured I'd do a quick demo on this little piece here. Again, just to give you a bit of a preview, because I am so excited about this, and this whole process and technique will be in the next of the bed build series. So for the first step, I use a draw knife to remove the majority of the bark, and this is the first time I've used a draw knife. I picked up this one from Lee Nielsen. It's designed so you can bend the handles for either a bevel up or a bevel down cutter, you know, whatever feels comfortable for you. So out of the box is set up for a bevel up, so you're supposed to use the tool this way with the bevel up. I've already found that I greatly prefer to use it bevel down, so my handles are bent kind of the wrong direction, so these can be bent. I'll mess with that later. So it's not super comfortable to use like this, but it's really not that bad either. So I can just kind of come in here and remove the bark. we'll start getting through the outer bark and into the inner bark here. Trying to be fairly conservative as I go, because it is possible to go too far. So I'll leave this area up here just to kind of give you an idea of a different effect if you want to leave the outer bark, for instance. But now I'm going to go over with the angle grinder and the Scotch-Brite pad thing. And now with the sanding pad, I'll just kind of blend things a little bit. This just gets a smooth to the touch. So yeah, that's a really cool look. Pretty easy, pretty quick to do. I think this is my new favorite live edge style, for sure. And it feels so nice and smooth too. And overall, I mean, it is softer than the wood, but not by very much. This feels about as hard as pine. But once I get some finish on here, this should help harden things up a little bit and make this edge a little more durable. But then again, this is going to be the edge of a bed, so I guess it doesn't have to be super durable either, but really cool technique. The first viewer project this week comes from Derar. This is a set of furniture that he made, a dining table, a coffee table, and a TV stand. They're all made from plywood, and they're all veneered with walnut and mappa burl. All these woods I've never heard of. But regardless, that's a really cool combo. I love that burl against the walnut. Next is a tea light holder by Phil and his wife. Last year, Phil and his wife decided to take up new hobbies. His wife chose stained glass and mosaics, and his was woodworking and carpentry. One of the projects that they worked on together was this tea light holder, where Phil did the woodwork and his wife did the stained glass. Next is the Learning Tower by Will. So Will wanted to build a kitchen stool stand thing for his daughter Morgan, and if you haven't seen Will's channel before, Will does an amazing job with his videos. They tell such an amazing story, and this is a fantastic video for any time that you just start down working on a project and everything just seems to go wrong. So definitely check it out. The project turned out great, but the journey was certainly not what Will was expecting. Lastly is a cherry coffee table by Boris. The joinery on the table is dowels and is finished with polyurethane. If you're interested in making one, Boris has a step-by-step guide over on Instructables. I'll have a link to that down in the description. So that about does it for me for this week. I'm going to be working on the bed project in here, get some more shop time. Pretty excited about that. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.